The Night of Hunger. In a small village on the outskirts of eastern Nigeria, 3 brothers slept on a bare floor inside a mud house with a leaking roof. The eldest, Chukudi, wrapped his thin arms around his younger brothers as rain tapped the roof like questions with no answers. Their parents were gone. Hunger was their daily visitor. That night, the youngest whispered, "Brother, will tomorrow be better?" Chukudi didn't answer. He just held them tighter and cried silently. A promise under the moon. The next morning, before the sun rose, Chukudi stood outside the house, staring at the sky. He made a promise, not to the world, but to his brothers. "I will never let this suffering finish us." Those words would one day change everything. Survival begins. The brothers worked everywhere they could. They carried water for neighbors. They swept markets. They picked leftover food from closed stalls at night. Emeka, the middle brother, sold pure water under the hot sun. Obinna, the youngest, hawked groundnuts after school, often learning by moonlight because candles were expensive. People laughed at them. But the brothers never laughed back. They were too busy surviving. Education paid with pain. Chukudi sacrificed school so his brothers could attend. He worked at construction sites, hands bleeding, back bent, eyes tired. Every naira he earned went to school fees. Every dream he buried was planted inside his brothers. At night, when they slept, he whispered, "Let my pain become your future." The fall that almost ended everything. One evening, Emeka collapsed at the roadside, exhausted and sick. Hospital bills arrived like enemies. The brothers sold their only mattress. That night, Obinna cried, "Maybe life doesn't want us to succeed." Chukudi looked at him and said, "Life doesn't decide that. We do." The turning point. Years passed. Against all odds, Emeka gained admission into a university through a scholarship. Obinna discovered a gift for technology, repairing phones with broken tools and borrowed parts. Slowly, painfully, things began to shift. The same boys people once ignored were now being noticed. Success knocked softly. Emeka graduated and got a job. Obinna started a small tech business. Together, they brought Chukudi into the city. For the first time, the brothers ate without fear of tomorrow. But Chukudi cried, not because of food, but because the promise he made under the moon had come true. The house they never imagined. Years later, a modern house stood where the mud home once was. The brothers returned to the village, not to show off, but to give back. They built schools. They helped struggling children. They became hope. The lesson. Standing together, dressed neatly, the 3 brothers held hands. They were once poor. They were once hungry. But they were never weak. Because when brothers refused to give up on each other, even poverty bows.